Okay, everyone. Today we are going to go over how to find the least common multiple. All right, so before we get started, if you want to find me on YouTube, The Math Guy, I think there's some other math guys out there, but you'll see the one looks like me. Okay, so let's get started. We know when we are finding a multiple that a multiple is, so let's go over an example. Let's do the number 4. So if we want to list the multiples of the number 4, we're going to skip count. Okay, we're going to skip count by 4s. So that would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. All the numbers in the multiplication table are the multiples of that number. So if I'm doing here, that's 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5. So that is why they are called multiples. You will see in the word multiple, you will see it's the beginning of the word multiplication. So when you are finding the multiples of a number, you need to skip count by that number. So we should be able to find the multiples of all numbers from 1 to at least 12 by now, because those are the facts we should know when we're studying a multiplication fact, should be up until the 12 times table. So if I take a look here, don't mind that beeping in the background. If I had to find the multiples of 6, would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. And you could keep on listing them, but I'm just going to, when I'm finding the least common multiple, just find the first couple. I like to find maybe the first 5 or 6 multiples of that number and see if that's not enough. Because if I have to, I can always continue. So let's say those are my multiples of 6. Now let's say I was listing my multiples of 4. It doesn't make a difference in what order that you do them. So 4 would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So now right away you can see here, what multiples do we have in common? Do either of them 6? No. 12? I see 12 over here. So I know that 12 and 12 is in common. So my least common multiple, which will be abbreviated LCM, is 12. That is my least common multiple. So that is my least common multiple. It doesn't mean that that is the only common multiple possible. It just means it's the least common multiple. And we want to use the least common multiple as often as we can, because when it comes time to simplifying fractions, which we need to do, or doing any computations with them, you want to work with fractions that have the smaller numbers. Because you will see here, I'm going to erase because I don't have room. If I kept on going, 20 would have 24. And you can see that 24 is also a common multiple between 6 and 4. But it's not the least common multiple. It is just a common multiple. All right. Also, another way to find a common multiple is, so when you have two fractions, so if you're working with 2/3 and let's say 4/5, those are your two. So let's say I want to add them, okay? We need to find a common denominator. So when we find our common denominator, we're really finding a least common multiple. Actually, I should correct myself. You're finding a common multiple. And if possible, we want to find our least common multiple. So we have gone over in class one way to find a common multiple is going to be to take your two denominators and multiply them together. So if I do 3 times 5, 3 times 5 gives you 15. So here, 15 is going to be our least common multiple, because if I make two columns of 3 and 5, right? And I can even start with 3 up top and then go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and go 5, 10, 15. You see that 15 is your least common multiple. But I could keep on going, and you would see that 30 would also be a common multiple. It's not the least common multiple, but it is a common multiple. So, once again, no matter what fraction you are given, I could just make up right now 4/6 plus, I could do 3, let's go 3/8. Okay? Now, to find a common multiple, I could multiply my 6 times 8. Okay? So I could do 6 times 8 will give us 6 times 8 will give us 48. Okay? So that is a common multiple. How do I know that's not my least common multiple? Because now I'm going to do my chart of 6 and 8. All right? So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. 8, 16, 24. So you can see that 24 is actually going to be your least common multiple equals 24. And that would be your common denominator here. So that is, I should have went right to it. That is a quick video on how to find the least common multiple, but we also went over how to just find a common multiple. Until next time.